Junior number 3, Dylan Grant. St. Francis is coached by assistants Chris Acker, Timothy Bell, Cameron Kanda, Jeremy Major, and Jason Weatherall, under head coach Todd Wolfson.
Welcome to the game. Thank you for our starting lineups there, and we are here for game 1 of the St. Francis Holiday Hoopfest. Should be exciting. We have St. Francis Golden Knights versus the Eastside Lions.
Eastside Lions, yes sir. That's Matt Seska. I'm Alexis Moore. You guys already know who we are. We got a great game underway. Put away the presents because we have the real gift right here. Eastside controls the tip, and we're off and running, Matt. This is going to be an exciting game to start off this holiday hoop fest.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we've got some early action. St. Francis already starting to create some havoc on defense here.
Yeah, that steal was by Ben O'Connor.
Get a turnover, get it right back, but control the rebound on the missed shot. Kenneth Harris of Eastside.
I imagine this game's going to look a little sloppy as we currently already see it. You know, 9 a.m. game, first day after Christmas. A lot of presents probably were opened. Maybe a little bit of sparkling cider was drank. So you know, you got to knock the rust off here as we get started.
You do. It takes some time. Obviously, you know, us formerly being in this position probably just over a decade ago, as Eastside gets its first points of the board. And St. Francis, they're going to call an early timeout. They must not like what they're seeing early.
Yeah, already to the timeout. Just a 30 seconds, so we'll be pretty quick here. Doesn't seem like St. Francis is happy with the sloppiness coming out. I heard Coach Wolfson say right there, you know, 2 turnovers right off the bat. And, you know, one of those was off a steal and in transition. But, again, got to knock that rust off. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, those are, like you alluded to, those 9 a.m. games were always brutal, especially after a holiday. I mean, like you said, these kids were probably with their families yesterday. There's probably a little bit of rust as they try to get going here. And there's the guy that they're going to rely on heavily, Dylan Grant. He's a player to watch for St. Francis. He misses that first shot, but they create some turnovers and get back in transition.
Yeah, and another steal for Ben O'Connor there. That's his second steal of the game.
Joe Hickey gets that one to drop. 2-2.
St. Francis, a very disciplined basketball team, always going to be in the right spot. I got the pleasure of watching them a couple nights ago. As we go into another timeout, looks like we have a full timeout here.
You know, it's interesting because
30-second timeout.
these first couple of possessions here, you're seeing both coaches really trying to take control of the game. Not liking the sloppiness on the offensive or really defensive ends. There's been a lot of turnovers that have led to another turnover.
Yeah. That was a 30-second timeout, not a full. As we're 2-2 here, with just under 2 minutes into game 1 of the St. Francis Holiday Hoopfest. We'll have 8 games coming to you live today, so stay tuned for all of that as St. Francis gets another steal here. Tough finish there.
Grant 0 for 2 now.
Yeah, St. Francis forcing a lot of turnovers so far, not able to capitalize off of, I think only 1 so far. They're 1 for 4 on turnovers to made baskets. As they get another one here, and Ben O'Connor has his 3rd steal of the game. That one kind of just hit him in his lap, though. He didn't have to work too hard.
You know, St. Francis, they're falling into this matchup zone that's looking to be challenging. There's a 3 right there from Noah Henry, another player to watch. they're falling back into this matchup zone, and I wonder if Eastside's going to have the shooting ability to be able to get them out of it. Looks like they're really trying to rely on their penetration and ball movement, but they're going to have to start going north and south pretty soon here.
Yeah, the ball pressure looks like it's bothering Eastside's point guard, Max Meza, a little bit as well. Taking a little bit while to get into their sets, having to go through a lot of different moves before he even feels comfortable to really move on. So I imagine that'll be a factor for a lot of this game here. We get a trap.
Tough shot, won't go.
Yeah. By the looks of it, I think they're going to need Wydell James to get going if they have any chance here. He is their first basket. Looks like he's their best chance to get any others so far.
For St. Francis, we got Aaron Matthews, Stephen Adibian, and Luke Paulus.
A couple of substitutions here on both sides. There's a quick foul on the inbound. That one's on Ben O'Connor.
Quick heads up for anybody watching. The team fouls and timeouts left need to be adjusted properly for each team. Currently the home team is getting the away fouls. So St. Francis is getting Eastside's fouls and vice versa. The scores are correct. We'll make an adjustment at halftime though. Just some technical difficulties there. So if you're watching, you're going, I'm seeing all these timeouts or all these fouls and it doesn't look right. It currently does not look right.
Too many steps. Packed a suitcase, but then remembered he couldn't travel.
Yeah, still pretty sloppy here.
Noah Henry pushing the tempo.
Nice setup of the screen there as he gets a blocking foul.
By the Lions, number 22, Mauricio Cruz. First personal, first team foul.
Tykeem McQueen just checked in for Eastside.
You know, St. Francis is running a pretty good set here. Like the double horns action. Back-to-back corner threes, no good. That's a tough rebound right there, Seska. That was strong. That's bully ball right there. You can't teach that. That's all heart. Aaron Matthews getting it done.
Yeah, and that was after 2 offensive rebounds, I believe, as well. So St. Francis starting to get their dominance. I don't want to say groove just yet because they're still warming up a little bit. Nice charge there, set by Josh Songer.
You know, Eastside, they're staying in the game so far. I mean, we're 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter, but you know, the thing that they're going to have to start doing, they're going to have to start capitalizing on the offensive end.
Yeah, they're hanging on. Yeah, again, I think the pressure is definitely causing some problems for Eastside right now. Struggling to get even any offense set. Right there, we're forced into the out of bounds in a half-court set. So hopefully they can find their rhythm here, get a little comfortable on the court.
St. Francis with this tenacious defense, you can tell that it's definitely something that they work on.
McQueen looking to go to work.
What a move right there. That was a move.
That looked like Austin Reeves on Andrew Wiggins last night.
Man, they might have to start calling him Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, I knew Reeves Island was a thing. I did not realize Reeves Island was a thing. And maybe we'll get McQueen Island here as well.
Henry lines it up, drops it, nothing but net.
Yeah, he's a good shooter. You don't want to leave Henry open. He's going to make you pay. The other night against Eula, he had, more than a couple threes, and he already has 2 on the day, and we're still in the first quarter here, so definitely a key for Eastside to chase him off that line.
McQueen, he's going to answer with a 3 of his own in the corner pocket.
McQueen is getting busy.
Cuts the lead to
5 points. Good pass out.
Tough.
St. Francis is winning the hustle right now. All the offensive rebounds going their way. Eastside definitely the smaller team, so need to get some boxing out going here. But we'll see if this stays the trend. Or if
And that's one of the things, man. It's interesting to see. Usually, a team that has more height, the opposing team is going to try and rely on speed to try and neutralize that height. But to that point that you just made, St. Francis is really controlling the tempo. They're pressuring Eastside very, very well, getting them sped up. And you got to wonder how Eastside's going to respond and counter. Because if you can't rely on your speed and your athleticism to neutralize some of that height, this is a game that could get very difficult for Eastside very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 field goals right now, 2 of them by McQueen, and the 3rd from Wydell James. So I don't know all the scoring for as Jameer Devereaux gets their 4th field goal, and we get a 14-9 game. I don't know how many people have scored for St. Francis, but I do imagine it's more than what we've seen from Eastside here, even in this early stages.
Grant's 3 misfires, good offensive rebound, put back up, won't go.
Yeah, again, we're averaging about 2 offensive rebounds per possession here.
Aaron Matthews gets another cleanup bucket.
So we get another timeout here.
16-9, just a shade over a minute left in this first period. This is a good way to start off the Holiday Hoops Fest.
Yeah, we're picking up the groove here. St. Francis, our host team for the tournament. Beautiful gym, beautiful location here in La Cañada, California. It's looking to be a beautiful day outside as well. Yesterday was a little bit cloudy, but today looks like we're opening up a little bit more. So for those of you in the area, come and stop by. For those of you who can't, stay tuned to the streams. Like I said before, we have 8 games coming to you all today. The first one is 9 o'clock, and then we'll finish at 7:30. So stay tuned for all the games today. And all the games of all 4 days of the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest coming forward.
Jameer Devereaux's going to head to the line. Storm with the clock stopped. Good strategy to try and neutralize some of the momentum that St. Francis has picked up in this first quarter.
A long first quarter so far. We've had 3 timeouts total. So again, that first game after the holidays, both coaches trying to get their teams into it, knock off that rust, knock off, whatever that nice Christmas meal was.
I was going to say holiday ham. Probably was a little, maybe holiday ham, maybe a little prime rib or pot roast.
That sounds delicious. Great pass.
Matthews can't finish.
Yeah,
good
but
offensive
again,
rebound. Threes, please.
Right now, the way St. Francis is playing is it's basically we're going to shoot and we're going to rebound until we score here. Eastside really struggling now with those defensive rebounds.
Well, they're imposing their will. The other thing is, Eastside, they're doing a lot. There's a lot of stagnation on offense. A lot of guys standing in the corner, a lot of guys standing around period, and that's allowing St. Francis to really get into those passing lanes and get into those gaps and create turnovers and easy transition buckets like we just saw. At half-court shots, no good. That was Ryan Smith getting that last second layup for St. Francis. They're going to take a 21-9 lead into the second quarter. And that first good period of basketball, hey, that's what the Holiday Hoop Fest is all about. That's what we expect to see. A little bit of run and gun, a little excitement for that first quarter. St. Francis pretty much controlling this one early, take a 12-point lead in the second quarter.
Yeah. Good first quarter there. I'm adjusting our stats for us so that way we can have the proper stats come in for us here.
We got the stats right here coming to us. Eastside finished that period 4 for 8, so they're shooting the ball well. Both teams shooting 50%. St. Francis was 8 for 16 from the floor. They were 3 from 7 for 3. And the leading scorer was Noah Henry with 6. Those back-to-back threes that you mentioned. On the other side, Eastside's leading scorer was Tykeem McQueen with 5 points. He came in early off the bench and had 2 quick buckets. Second quarter underway. And it looks like Eastside's going with a matchup zone of their own. Falling back into a 3-2. Another shot from Paulus. That's nothing but net. He's heating up. Paulus has back-to-back threes. He's gonna have to. He's gonna start feeling it. And the lead is now 15.
I'm gonna adjust the scoreboard really fast for us.
That shot's no good for Eastside. Grant using the ball screen, tried to get the pick and roll with Matthews, couldn't dump it down to him. Paulus, why not? If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's 3 straight threes, in certain games. That means ball's back. That means he's on fire. 27-9. St. Francis starting to blow this one open with a quick 6-0 run to start the second quarter, led by Mr. Luke Paulus.
Yeah. Had a 3 in the first quarter. Now he's got 2 here.
9 quick points off the bench.
Eastside for sure not loving that. St. Francis seems to be finding their groove as they're up 18 here, not even a minute into the second quarter.
Matt, if you're Eastside, you're struggling a little bit offensively. Defensively, there's some missed rotations, some dropped assignments, and now you're having to deal with a press, full court press. He tried to throw it off his legs. That was errant. And Grant with an acrobatic layup.
As St. Francis gets that 20-point lead here.
Make it 22, Paulus.
Paulus has a quick 11 here. I don't think he's even played a total of 5 minutes.
We got a foul there as DeLon Grant collided.
You know what I see? You know what I see too here as I look at the stat sheets between the two different teams. St. Francis has already played, close to 10 guys, whereas Eastside we're looking at just a mere 7. So St. Francis staying fresh here. Eastside through the press, through the ball pressure, is fighting with even less people.
That's interesting. You're absolutely right. And St. Francis, they definitely have the depth. They've got a deep bench, whereas Eastside, it looks like they've got maybe 4 or 5 active guys on the bench. So, it makes sense why they're able to press. St. Francis has been able to press, rotate guys pretty quickly, and why guys like Luke Paulus can come in, score a quick 11. And the next man up can kind of come in and replace him whenever Coach Wilson decides to make that rotation.
Yeah, Zachary Fulcher makes his first free throw here.
Fulcher gets 1 of 2. Eastside facing a 21-point deficit.
Yeah, and Matthews continues to dominate the boards here.
Grant pull up short.
Let's look at the rebound difference we have. We have 9 rebounds to 4 from Eastside. This is from the first quarter. So we have a couple bit more here in the second. But first quarter stats, 9 rebounds to 4 total. And that's, of those 9 rebounds, usually it's the opposite. For this one, it's 6 of those are offensive and 3 are defensive. So again, like what we said in the first quarter, St. Francis is pretty much coming down, getting their shots up, and they're not going back to the other side until they score.
You know, it's a tough spot to be in, obviously, if you're Eastside. You're facing a 21-point deficit on the road. Like we mentioned earlier, it's a 9 a.m. game on a holiday week. So there's a lot of going against you, but I think they got to play a little bit more free. I think they got to play a little bit looser and really mix it up, really change some things up. They're going to get back into this game.
Good block there. Oh, but turn it right back over. Noah Henry. Nice finish there in the fast break.
And DG with a steal.
Henry's got a decent game going. That's 8 points for him on the day. Paulus, again, their leading scorer currently with 11.
Tough move, unable to finish.
Yeah, you got to get those easy ones.
Henry, why not? Won't go, but Matthews continues to control the boards.
Yeah, he just said, I'm taller and more athletic than you. I'm going to tip this up until I grab it.
Luke Paulus on the offensive rebound. Foul on the play by Eastside number 10, Kenneth Harris. First personal, first team foul of the quarter. In for the Golden Knights, 1, 12, and 21, Nico D'Angora, Joe Hickey, Stephen Cadidian.
3-person substitution there for the St. Francis Golden Knights.
Nice
move there.
From Dylan Domingo.
All right, that was a move right there, a little spin cycle.
Yeah, that was about the same move that we saw from the other side with Eastside, but different results for St. Francis.
Hey!
So we get our first dunk.
Chat, clip that. Clear for liftoff, Nico D'Angora.
We have our first highlight, a big highlight of the tournament at 9:23 a.m. We did have liftoff.
Dun-na-na, dun-na-na. Actually, I think we might be facing a copyright infringement.
I don't know if copyright goes to, mouth instruments.
Okay, there you go. Matt Seska Esquire, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, personal lawyer.
That's right. I do want to caveat that anything said here cannot be used against me in a court of law. It's actually the opposite of Miranda rights.
Number 3, Jameer Devereaux, and for 5, Josh Sonner.
You know, it's funny, I could tell as soon as Nico D'Angora caught the ball, I could tell he was bouncy. Because he caught it, he immediately went into his gather, his 1-2 gather. He didn't even put the ball on the floor. And he gave us a good highlight.
That's one of those things where you're thinking about it constantly in the game of how am I going to get this dunk? And then sometimes your eyes get real wide and it just opens right in front of you.
Eastside has not scored a single field goal in the quarter. They have only gotten 1 point off of a free throw from Fulcher earlier. It's 37-10 with just under 3.5 to play in the half. And dangerously close from this one, getting blown out of proportion, out of hand quickly for Eastside Lions. They're going to have to try and get some stops and scores, get back to the foul line, score with the clock stop, maybe cut into this deficit a little bit before the half.
Yeah, St. Francis has definitely opened this one up. Eastside for sure going to need to make some adjustments at the half. Adjustment 1, let's get some boxing out. Adjustment 2, let's handle this ball pressure. Adjustment 3, we got to play some defense.
McQueen trying to get out in transition. Good kick out. Fulcher, he's going to try a 3. Just off, and Henry clears the rebound for St. Francis. Great pass.
And one.
Great finish, D'Angora, from an excellent pass from Noah Henry. He's got his fingerprints all over this game, Matt.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Eastside. They picked up full court man, and it kind of worked against them, as it kind of happens here again. Starting St. Francis's fast break for them, as Eastside players are having a little bit of trouble staying in front of the St. Francis players. And again, that matchup zone, you know, kind of a half-court pickup press. They're picking up kind of right at that half-court line. There's McQueen Island.
Can't get that one to fall.
Yeah.
St. Francis still looking to push, man. Still looking to push the tempo. Henry can't get that one to fall, but D'Angora collects the rebound.
Yeah, again, you take Matthews out, you would think maybe the rebounds would stop. That is not the case. St. Francis continues to crash the board. And really, you know, again, show why our Eastside friends need to get some boxing out going on, as they are the smaller team. St. Francis is overall more physical currently.
Grant playing bully ball, gets into the middle of the key and hits a nice fadeaway jumper.
Yeah, tough finish there. I want to say one of his, you know, first or second baskets of the day. He's getting a little slow here, one of St. Francis' top guys, but they certainly haven't needed him.
Another turnover by Eastside. The Prophets just continue to stack up for them. Down 34 with a minute 24 left to play in the half.
Yeah, you called it earlier, you know, a lot of stagnant offense. People standing one-on-one kind of ISO ball.
Paulus, he has the hot hand. He can't get that one to fall.
McQueen tries to get inside, gets the foul.
Hakeem McQueen to the free throw line for 2. Foul by the Golden Knights, number 12.
McQueen just trying to get anything going for them offensively. It's going to be tough coming out of the halftime breakdown. Being down, I should say.
Yeah.
Such a big lead. They're going to try and just collect any buckets, any baskets, any points that they really can.
Got real quiet in here. I think everybody could hear what we're saying at this point. You mentioned it earlier, and I think it's even more prevalent now, but Eastside has scored 1 point this entire quarter.
It's not a recipe for success, Matt. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, tough first half here for Eastside.
Meanwhile, St. Francis has so far scored 23 points in the second quarter. McQueen gets his second free throw to drop. 44-11, under a minute to play. Paulus with a double horns action.
Do you think Paulus is related to Greg Paulus from Duke? Because if I remember correctly, Greg Paulus also used to wear wrist tape on his potentially left wrist.
You know, he just might be. That's a good question. We might have to pull him for a quick interview after the game. There's the first field goal of the quarter for the Eastside Lions. Wydell James hits a corner fadeaway 3, cuts the lead to 30 for the Golden Knights.
As we get close to halftime here, we will be lowering the audio for copyright reasons, as we have some popular music play in the arena at halftime. So don't be alarmed if your stream loses audio. That is just to keep us from being sued from the big fish out there.
That indeed, 47-14, the St. Francis Golden Knights take a lead into the halftime break. We'll be back for the third quarter momentarily.
Yeah, stick around, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll be back in about 10 minutes here with some second half of the Game 1 St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest. We have St. Francis Golden Knights versus the Eastside Lions. Again, stay tuned. More action coming to you now and through the rest of the day. right, welcome back. We are getting ready for the second half of basketball here between St. Francis Golden Knights and the Eastside Lions. Tough first half for the Eastside Lions. I think one of the first thing that jumps out on the board, Lex, you said it at halftime, we're looking at the same amount of points as turnovers, which is a tough way to play basketball.
It's a tough way to play a game, exactly, Matt. I think, you know, obviously we knew coming into it, Eastside was going to have their hands full. They're playing on the road. It's a 9 a.m. game, the day after Christmas. You know, there were a lot of things that kind of stacked the deck against them, and St. Francis came out really high energy, forced a lot of turnovers, and really restricted Eastside from creating any type of rhythm on offense. So I think, you know, it'll be imperative, I'm sure, at halftime. Coach McCullough went in there and told his guys, listen, we just have to play with a little bit more force. You know, they're being more aggressive on the boards. They're getting into their offense. We're not able to get stops. You know, down 33, you kind of throw everything but the kitchen sink and see what sticks. You kind of have to, you know, play on fire, so to speak. And there's a shot right there. There's a deep two. That's Wydell James. You know, he hit a corner three. He was the only field goal in that second quarter, Matt. I would be interested to see if Coach McCullough kind of relies on him to be an offensive catalyst in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, he started the second half the same way he started the first half. He was the first bucket for Eastside there. And he continues it here. They definitely need him. Him and McQueen were their two, you know, appeared to get the easiest buckets in that first half. So if they want to mount any type of comeback here, I think they're going to want to rely on them. But they will need to. This is, again, a theme from the first half. Some of the ball pressure, the trapping zone that St. Francis has been deploying, Eastside has struggled with. And those struggles do continue as we get a nice fast break pull-up going here. Tough bounce off the rim.
James can't get that one to fall. They get out in transition, and that leads to an easy layup on the other end, 49-16. You know, if I'm Eastside, obviously, you know, the old saying comes to fruition, right? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You're down 33. You're not going to get it all back in one possession or one quarter. I think, you know, to that point, Matt, they got to try and put together a couple of quick buckets, a couple of good stops, and try and keep scoring with the clock stop. As much as they can get to the free throw line as possible, you know, hopefully get them back in this game. But St. Francis relying on this heavy pressurized defense. James going to pull another deep three. That one's no good. And the rebound is off and running. It's Dylan Domingo.
Good finish there.
Dylan Grant's going to finish at the other end.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it really does. You can't get it all back in one, but then you really got to start with the fundamentals and the basics, right? Like, what did we struggle with in the first half? Okay, we had issues with ball control, right? The pressure got to us a little, so that needs to be addressed, right? Like, when I have the ball, got to be strong with it. Rebounding were a problem. Every shot got to box out, right? If you start to break it down into the actions versus the outcome, it gets a little bit easier to bring things back together. But it's tough, you know, we're talking about, you know, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids here. It took me, you know, well into college to even fully comprehend that type of attitude. Good
You're
block.
absolutely right. There's a block on the other end. And there's another, it's a block party. Close down the street. Everybody's invited. Yeah, I think you're right, Matt. And also, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and take what you said, action versus outcome. I'm going to go ahead and adopt that for my way of life as well, because I think that's the key right there. I think a lot of us focus on the outcome when we should just be focusing on the actions we can control. So.
Yeah, I recently, this past year, started helping out with my high school alma mater, coaching there only twice a week. Unfortunately, right now, I can only dedicate 2 days a week of my time, but that's one of the big things that I see with them is, you know, a lot, as we have a full timeout here called by Eastside. We'll come over to our desk camera. for a moment here. So as we mentioned, if you've been here for the whole broadcast, I'm Matt Seska. This is Alexis Moore. We are here at the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest with this first game being St. Francis Golden Knights versus the Eastside Lions. Tough first half for Eastside. They looks like it's continuing here a little bit in the second, but looking to maybe build some momentum for games going forward in the tournament. Kind of set the tone and figure things out.
Yeah, I think to that point, Matt, obviously if you're Eastside, listen, you're down heavily on the road. You haven't really been able to get into a consistent rhythm. You haven't done a great job keeping the ball in possession. So, what are you playing for? I think you're going out here, you're trying to establish a rhythm that you can hopefully carry into the next game. There's still a lot of basketball to be played. There is an entire consolation side of the bracket. So, the reality is there's still a lot that they can glean from this particular game, even though it's not going in their favor. So if I'm, Coach McCullough and his staff and some of these players, we just have to continue to go out and put our best foot forward and try and, capitalize on some of the good that we've been able to draw from this game, and hopefully get some of the guys going so that they come into the next game a little bit ready, a little bit more focused, and hopefully have a different outcome for them. And on the flip side, if you're St. Francis, I mean, this is a great game to kind of establish that rhythm in a your home tournament, one that's loaded with competition. So I'm sure that Coach Wolfson, he seems like he obviously will be able to have some things he'll want to clean up from this game. But overall, his team basically has a very comfortable 40-point lead. At this point, it's just about making sure guys don't get hurt, stay healthy, and continue to make all the right moves. Looks like he's about to have an entire 5-man swap rotation come in here in just a second here.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a great way to start the tournament for St. Francis, and that brings up that this is only game 1 of today. We'll have 8 games, but we'll be here for the full tournament. Every game will be live streamed in this exact YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Make sure to check back here every day for your favorite teams and players. Coming up after this, we have the 10:30 game, which is Bakersfield Christian versus Oaks Christian. Word on the street is that should be a pretty good game. So if you're sitting at home, got nothing else to do, and want to watch some nice high school hoops here in Southern California, we got a good one coming up on the docket here.
Queen had the rebound, lost it. That's a tough bucket right there. Stephen Caribbean.
Yeah, and St. Francis continues to, dominate the boards. Really just, out physicaling Eastside here today. Another timeout here.
Full timeout here. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting going forward in the rest of the tournament. St. Francis will have the winner of Kings Academy and Agora, which is that's going to be a highly anticipated matchup for St. Francis, whoever comes out on that side. But a lot of good holiday hoops. My alma mater's playing in this tournament as well. Long Beach Poly, they play Santa Monica at 6 p.m. I'm excited to see what Coach Shelton Diggs and his staff have lined up and have his guys ready to go. So it's going to be a fun, I was going to say weekend, but it's a little bit more than that. It's going to be the entire
extended weekend.
Extended weekend. Holiday weekend. There you go.
Here.
There you go. But yeah, a lot of good basketball coming away. I'm excited to see Bakersfield Christian and Oaks Christian as well. I think that'll be a good matchup, and hopefully you guys will stick with us for that one as well.
Yeah, the Long Beach Poly and Santa Monica game also marked down as a marquee matchup for today. So some real exciting basketball to look forward to.
McQueen surveys.
Looks like he's trying to get McQueen Island going here.
James can't get that one to fall. McQueen says, why not? His one runs in and out. And see, this is some of the aggression we didn't see from Eastside in the first half. They're kind of getting after it on the boards. snatch that rebound away from Mr. Matthews.
We're getting scrappy, right? We're getting on the ground. We're fighting. We're getting into the paint.
These are the things I'm talking about right here. I mean, obviously, it's Eastside's going to have their work cut out for them if they're going to try and get back into this game. But to that point, they obviously will have another game to play tomorrow. And you know, if you're Coach McCullough, you don't want your kids to come out with the same low energy that they maybe had in the first quarter. So utilizing this kind of as a springboard going into that next game would be the mentality I'd have if I was some of these guys out here.
Yeah. And they have picked it up a little bit here. Like we said, I think they had, all of 5 points scored in the second quarter. Well, we're at 6 points here. It's improvement.
It is improvement. Any win, no matter how big or small, is a win. Let's get some W's in the chat.
Yeah, we are paying attention to the chat. If you say something, we will respond back. Unless it's negative. No negativity. Only positive vibes, please.
It's only positive vibes. It is the holiday season. And those are the gifts that keep on giving. That was Ryan Smith. 3-ball corner pocket. And he pushes the lead back up to 40 for the Golden Knights.
That takes him for 5 points on the day.
Ryan Smith gets the steal on the other end and gave it right back.
Oh.
We got a wedgie.
That is right. We do have a wedgie.
I'm so glad he called it what it is.
We're getting everything here in this opening game. St. Francis is deep. When we look at their lineup in here, no starters are in, but a lot of the guys on the court, Luke Paulus, Matthews, big-time contributors on the day. So we mentioned it earlier, but a lot of depth here for St. Francis.
A lot of depth. Coach Wilson does a great job keeping his guys fresh. I mean, obviously, they pressed most of the first half. They've kind of fallen back off of that, a little bit more of a relaxed matchup, full court now. But Coach Wilson does a great job keeping his guys fresh and making sure that they can continue to amp up that pressure. There's a loose ball foul.
Eastside's getting after it.
You know, there's still some fight in this. There's still an entire quarter. You know, stranger things have happened. We once saw a man score 37 points in a quarter. Granted, NBA player, one of the greatest shooters of all time, probably not going to get that type of performance here. But, you know, suffice to say, stranger things have happened in the game of basketball.
40 points in 8 minutes coming up here is a tall task.
Especially when you've only scored 20 on the entire day thus far. It's going to be tough. It's Ryan Smith. He's going to get an easy layup.
I thought we were going to see our second dunk of the day there, potentially.
I think if D'Angora can get out again, he'll give us another poster. His dunk in the first half was a nice one.
Calls the Slavs out of bounds. Possession Eastside. Substitution returning for the Lions is Kenneth Harris.
Queen to inbound for the Lions. Good defensive rebound by Ryan Smith. Pushing it ahead to Matthews. A little too much mustard on the hot dog. He's unable to collect that board for the Golden Knights.
Off the Golden Knights to the Lions.
We have my sister chiming in the chat here, claiming she got no responses. We did mention no negativity earlier, and that feels like it's rooted
She's
some saltiness.
She did. There's a 3 at the end of the third quarter. Jameer Devereaux, he gives the Lions a consolation bucket right there, 62-23 as we head into the fourth quarter. And I do want to give a quick shout out to your sister. She mentioned 2 great things. Nice graphics. These are excellent graphics. That's courtesy, obviously, of the big man right here, Mr. Seska. She also said nice jacket. And I'm assuming she's talking about.
It's definitely your jacket.
I think she's talking about yours, man.
There's no way.
That's Polo Ralph Lauren right there, man.
Yeah, but you got all these fancy logos and stuff. Is this Christmas themed?
You know, I wanted to stay on brands. You know, I don't really know. It can kind of go, I guess, with the little ornament themed. It also can maybe be I don't know, some type of sundial, but
sundial. That's right.
Who knows what the heck I got on? But we appreciate you for tuning in. Obviously, this is a game St. Francis has pretty much been in control of the entire game. Eastside showed some signs of life in that third quarter, though, Matt. They had their highest point total of the day so far, and they were able to get into a little bit better of an offensive rhythm than they had in the entire first half. So, again, it's going to be hard for them to climb out of this 40-point hole and with just a quarter left to play. But if there's anything that they can take away from this game, it's hopefully some momentum, as there's a nice bucket there from Kenneth Harris, knifing his way to the basket. And
yeah, you mentioned Eastside putting up more points. They also put up more than double shots. They had more shots in that third quarter than they did in the entire first half. First half, they had 15 total shots. That third quarter, they shot 16 field goals. So that's one way to do it. I imagine, I don't know if we have a rebound breakdown here by quarter. Maybe I can do some quick math and figure it out. But rebounding-wise, yeah, they doubled their rebounding in that quarter as well. They went from 9 in the first half to a total of 20 there as they finished the third quarter. So a lot of big action from Eastside. You know, they definitely made some halftime adjustments, and it's showing.
first free throw good for Kenneth Harris. Luke Paulus, by the way, is the game high for point total. He's got 13 points off the bench. He had 3 quick threes, 1 at the end of the first quarter, 2 to start the second. And he leads the game with 13 points for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, at one point I think he had played for only 6 minutes and he already had 11 points. So really came out strong. Really helped, you know, build that initial kind of lead for St. Francis.
There he is again, cut to the basket.
As we came out of that first quarter, it was only an 11-point game at the time. And then Paulus with his quick 8 points really opened it up at the start of that second quarter, and St. Francis didn't look back from there.
McQueen can't get the first one to drop.
If we look at more stats here, St. Francis finished the quarter, or finished the half at 47. They finished that last quarter at 62. So they've been, you know, pretty much averaging the same 15 to 20 points a quarter here, pretty consistent game of basketball here for the St. Francis Golden Knights.
Also want to make a note, Matt. Luke Paulus is a freshman, by the way.
Luke Paulus is a freshman?
He's a freshman. He's a leading scorer of the game with 15 points, and he's a freshman. He has played really, really well today. Obviously, they got, like you said, they got a lot of great play early on. Luke was really part of that push to really blow this lead wide open. Super senior Noah Henry led the way as well for the Golden Knights. But yeah, so far, leading scorer of the game, freshman Luke Paulus.
What a way to start your holiday hoop fest for Mr. Paulus there.
First one, man. Probably first of many for him.
Yeah, in the game the other night against Eula, he showed up well too. I did not realize he's got some size on him for a freshman.
McQueen gets his pocket picked, and St. Francis is going to head back the other way.
And not only does he have some size on him, you know, look at him here just commanding the offense. Really a great amount of poise out of a freshman as well.
Definitely get the feel, you know, he's going to definitely be a guy, one of the key figures for this program in the coming years. Three-pointers up and good.
Three by Stephen Karibian.
Karibian dropping that three in the bucket. McQueen just trying to put anything together now. Can't get that bucket to fall. 5.5 to play. Ball is all the way to the other end. It's looking like a young Matt Seska out there. I've definitely seen Matty Ice go coast to coast and put up a tough and one bucket like that. 17 points for the freshman with an opportunity to get his 18th point.
Yeah, and you are far too kind. I've never had a game like Mr. Luke Paulus as a freshman at the varsity level.
Matt, you did mention that you are helping coach your alma mater.
That's been exciting, I'll tell you that.
I'm sure it's been it's been a fun one. Cappuccino High School.
Yeah, they're looking. They don't look too bad. We've got a couple players there. Need to definitely smooth out some of the rough edges, polish up just everything a little bit. Some of the things that Eastside has been struggling with here. We at Cappuccino also struggle a little bit, but a lot of potential. So as we get deeper in the season, looking forward to how the kids put it all together. Do you know that Nico Diangora, our only dunk of the game, is a sophomore?
I didn't know that. He's bouncy, man. I was hoping that he would get another breakaway and put together another highlight for us. Is Stephen Karibian.
Do you know Stephen is also a freshman?
It looks like Coach Wilson's pretty much gone to his young core, and these guys are showing out. There's a lot of good talent that the Golden Knight program has to look forward to in the coming years.
I mean, young talent.
Young talent.
I mean, I don't know how many points Karibian has now, but he started the quarter with 6. I've seen at least 2. So we got to be looking at double digits at this point. The freshmen are really leading the way here for St. Francis, which I don't know if every program could say that.
St. Francis turns it over to Eastside.
Karibian as well, 12 points for the freshman off the bench. So 2 of the leading scorers for St. Francis, both freshmen, both off the bench.
Yeah, as we go into a 30-second and Eastside's final timeout of the game. Again, good quarter here for Eastside from a offensive standpoint. Defensively, having some struggles, but we have 8 points here on the quarter. Granted, St. Francis has 14. But if we started this quarter anew, it's only a 6-point game. So definitely liking the way Eastside has come out and responded this entire second half. They're really fighting and showing a lot of good character.
If you're Coach McCullough, obviously this game is pretty much all but put to bed. What are you telling your guys to try and get them motivated and prepared for the next game?
Yeah, I'll say the same thing that I said earlier, the actions over outcomes, right? You got to throw this game out, but you also want to keep in mind, hey, going into this next game, we got to make sure we box out. We got to have good ball control, and we got to be in the right place on defense. Those are going to be the keys to the action, and, you know, I don't want to think about two negatives, you know, throw all of that out the window, but let's think of, you know, what we can action going forward and what we could be thinking about and be top of mind as we leave today's game and then go into our next game tomorrow, because This is a 4-day tournament, and it's long, and you can't let one game get the best of you.
That you cannot. Paulus, his shot won't go. Good offensive rebound. Karibian.
He has a fun last name to say.
Definitely fun.
And he also, I think, we'll see what the scores look like at the end here, or totals, but he might be making a case right now for leading scorer of the game.
There he is getting the steal. Met with some pressure, and that one's gonna go out of bounds. It's gonna stay with Eastside. Clock's running, we got about a minute and a half left. Eastside to inbound underneath their own basket. That basket won't go. Good offensive rebound by Fulcher, but he can't get that one to drop.
Golden Knights out of bounds, ball to the Lions.
It's gonna stay with the Lions. They swing it over. Looks like they're just going to dribble this one out, maybe hold on, maybe put up another shot or take a shot clock violation.
Yeah, you know one thing that I'm not sure 100% on, and I think about it often at the end of games. How does the
boom?
Yeah, he's definitely the leading scorer at this point. My guess
17.
Is he's got 17. They
Paulus
said.
says 18.
Oh yeah, I could have looked at that. Oh wow.
2 freshmen, man. Look at that. We got a jump ball, but it's consolation. There are 2 seconds left. The clock is going to run out before they even get a chance to inbound. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Final score 81-31. St. Francis with a definitive inaugural win for this annual Hoopfest tournament. They went out in full force and were able to basically impose their will from off the rip, Matt. They get this one. They move forward in the bracket 1-0, and they will face the winner of the Kings Academy from Georgia and Agora. So it will be another heavyweight collision for them when they step onto the floor later tomorrow. And we've got another one coming up here, Bakersfield Christian and Oaks Christian. But what an exciting first game. We mentioned it early. Obviously, there was a little sloppiness that's to be expected the day after Christmas, the day after probably spending a lot of good time with family and friends. Hopefully staying safe and healthy with all of you out there as well. But St. Francis pretty much ran away with it after the first couple of minutes there, couple of possessions, and they didn't look back.
Yeah, good first half there. I was looking at the stats, trying to see if we had any double-doubles or anything stand out. As you mentioned, Paulus and Caribbean, 18 and 17 leading point scorers there. Both freshmen, very impressive on their end. Aaron Matthews finished with a game-high rebounds with 7, 3 of those being offensive. Nico Diangora also had 4 offensive rebounds as well. But great first game here of the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest. A lot more to look forward. Next game we have coming up is Bakersfield's Christian versus Oaks Christian. So that should be a good one. Marquee matchup on the day. Stick around. We'll be starting that stream shortly. So go ahead and eat some breakfast or finish up your breakfast and get ready for some more great basketball action coming your way in the next 20 minutes here. Thank you for sticking around, and we'll see you on the next one.